The best soul food in New York City. Now, soul food is something that I've recently discovered and I desperately need to try some. Like, it just looks like, that food, like the food that you look forward to eating after a hard day, a long day, a good comforting plate of food. It might not be the most calorie efficient, but it's going to fill you up and it's going to taste amazing. I need to get myself to America and just eat a bunch of soul food. And knowing that a place like this exists, because New York City is the closest place, to London. Like the flight to New York City is only about, oh God, I think it's like 7 hours or something like that. So it's actually realistic that I could eat this. So yeah, I'm eager to see what kind of food that they serve in this place, how good it looks, and, I just want to see some good food. Ooh.
Shaw-nae's house is a soul food sanctuary.
Oh my God.
I am historically the only restaurant on Staten Island to ever receive 2 stars in the New York Times. And then he put on the top 100 best restaurants. And it was done with 6 tables, 32 seats. We sell out of food every single weekend. Soul food is a passage.
Wow, they sell out every weekend. So there's a big demand for this place's food.
It also is tied to what we are as African Americans. We're preparing these dishes that are not new to us, but we elevate them and make those things really beautiful.
Brilliant.
Hello, I am Shaw-nae, and you are at Shaw-nae's house right here in Stapleton, Staten Island. I need you guys to get in here so we can get it together because it's going to be a very busy night. This is my house. It is a very intimate space. I will say we got a living room. I started this whole project in my real house. So when I got into the business of actually owning a brick and mortar, it was like, don't stress it. Just open up exactly what you had at home. So it is
For sure, and I love that. It gives it a more authentic feel. Like, don't get me wrong, when you go into these super bougie places, it's nice, but there's something about going into a restaurant and it feels like you've gone into someone's house that tells me the food is going to be amazing, because that's what they're focusing on,
a packed and very busy night tonight. I got a lot going on. All right, let's go get the vibes. Let's get cooking.
I love oxtail. I love oxtail.
So this is my station. It's a very small and tight station, but just like at home, when you're at home and you're in your kitchen with your family, you find your spot and you kind of like get comfortable. I work with my husband, who is so wonderful.
Nice. Family operation. Love that.
For doing so much fabulous stuff for me. He preps a lot of what it is that I get done, like cutting my collard greens. He trims the fat on my oxtails. This goes in right now. I started doing oxtail probably...
That is not bad. $22 for oxtail with rice. That is not bad at all. So that works out to be about £15, £16. Yeah, I would pay that 100%.
Probably about 10 years ago. So what I decided to do was put a twist on a cultural dish. I've seen people do recipes where they've thrown ice chips into their oxtails to create whatever they consider to be more moisture. I think that if you do it frozen and then you season it properly, it's going to have the moisture because it has the ice already embedded in the oxtail. And then I put some bouillon in there because that gives it a nice little seasoning. It's going to make it even more just
flavorful.
I don't know, what's the word you want? Delectable, delicious, off the hook, crazy, out of control. Like, that's just what it is. A little bit of brown sugar, and then I have a secret blend, and it'll have hidden spices in there that people keep trying to figure out. And
I love that she seasons generously. For some reason, like certain restaurants, they don't season well. It's like, don't you want the food to taste as good as possible? Like, I'm all for natural flavors of the ingredients, but I mean, throw some more seasoning on there.
I never give them. Soul Food has adopted oxtail, and they do cook it in the South, but this one is sort of like the twist on the Caribbean and on the Southern styled oxtail. I also like to put So this is ashwagandha. And so I
Okay.
stick these things in here. Soursop leaves. They do all those good things for you. Just like your mom used to throw mushrooms in your spaghetti. That's what that is for me. Soul food for me is the experience. I believe that when I'm cooking soul food, I become the servant of unconditional love. It's not necessarily all about the food. It's about us making sure that we're serving people. All food is not the food that's best for us, that makes us feel good or reminds us of things that our families used to do or go through or experience. And I believe that soul food does that. This is browning sauce. It's burnt sugar and it allows for the oxtail to have its color.
Yes.
My grandmother was a dietitian for over 40 years.
My sister Kathy, she like makes a fantastic oxtail. So I'm gonna send her this video to see if it's similar to her recipe. Because yeah, this looks really, really good. Hopefully she can replicate it one day and invite us over.
And I know that my grandmother taught me a lot of different recipes when I was growing up. And it wasn't necessarily about the recipes in the food, it was about the technique and making sure that I could feed a lot of people at one time. Because she believed that if somebody walked in the door, they needed to be able to be fed. So this is a little bit of barbecue sauce. So I saw that Caribbeans, right? They were like putting ketchup in there and I'm like, so not a fan of ketchup. Like, get the ketchup away from me. The barbecue sauce has molasses. It has a little bit of sugar in it. This is a little bit of starch, and that's to thicken it over time and it doesn't singe or burn. Putting this starch in here while it's cooking and me not having to disturb it made the recipe better. And I'm adding water into here right now because this is going to create the gravy and the broth for the oxtail. Literally, when I put this top on here and I go put this in the oven, you can forget about it.
I know that this is gonna taste good just because all of the flavors that are in, you know, this tray, like all of the seasoning she's put in there, it's just impossible for this not to taste amazing.
Stop talking to me about oxtail because it's not coming out for 4 hours. This is
4
bye-bye.
hours.
I told you, don't ask me about this, right? Like, we can't ask about this because when those doors open up, the oxtail orders go crazy. If you come here after 8 o'clock, just order something fried. That's all I can tell you.
Wow.
Oxtails are gone.
Just
We go
gone.
eat probably roughly about 30 pounds a day of oxtail. So we want to make sure that we get these oxtails in. I'm going to pretend to be super strong. It's very heavy. For now, 4 hours. When I tell you it has to be taken out at exactly 4 hours, it has to come out at exactly 4 hours. A minute over and those oxtails are like meat gravy and you might as well just throw them on French fries.
I love the vibe she has. If she needs to start like a YouTube channel maybe where she maybe does recipes or like day in the life type things. She's got a great energy. Aha, the mac and cheese.
So mac and cheese is definitely a soul food staple. The elbows have already been cooked for 10 minutes and then I start to combine my products in here to make it fabulous. I'm adding in a little bit of milk here. The macaroni and cheese I started doing when I had my kids and had my family and family gatherings. They were asking me to do it and I would try all these different cheeses. Every time that I tried it, I never liked it when it came out
That cheesy crust, oh my God.
too sharp. I liked it more on the milder side. What I noticed with customers is they do too. People don't want the cheese to punch them in the face. They want the slight taste of like a cheddar, but they want things to be very like smooth and easy to take down. You gotta do what you like. So I got American, a mix of cheddar, mild cheddar, and I add a little bit of Monterey. I don't really think that macaroni and cheese is so much about the cheese. I think it's one, the way that you take care of it, and it's how you season it. I just think it should be just salt and pepper. So my grandmother was like, if you can't cook with salt and pepper and it don't taste good, get out the kitchen. And I'm like, cool, I got you. But we don't use no salt with the cute little girl holding the umbrella trying
Is
to
that pink Himalayan salt?
trap us. We mess around with pink salt.
Yes, absolutely. Pink Himalayan salt for me is the best salt. It is the best salt to cook with.
It's pink, it's cute, and I'm a girl.
I need to go to this place. I have to.
And then we're gonna add the heavier black pepper. I melt the cheese down just a little bit so that I can put it into the pans and layer it with more cheese and then put it in the oven so that it bakes. I do pretty much all the cooking, and I managed to do it because I've been doing it for a very long time. My husband, we have learned how to work together and figure these things out. He fills in every single blank and every single gap that I have going on in this kitchen to make sure that things are running as smoothly as possible. Hey, babe, honey, husband, can you get the pans for me for the macaroni and cheese? I love putting him on the spot. This is the beauty of marriage. Thanks, babe, you're the best. And we're gonna just layer it. Don't overdo it.
He didn't say a word. He's too busy.
Do it. Really good. Putting the cheese on top creates like a little blanket for it. We're gonna slip these in the oven. 20 minutes to cook. You wanna make sure that this melts down and gets nice and crispy and golden, and then it's ready to go on your plate.
And the fact she didn't put any seasoning in with the mac and cheese ensures that it's gonna taste like mac and cheese. I think mac and cheese is one of those dishes that, aside from the cheese, doesn't really need any other, flavor to it.
So it's about noon. It's time to get this fried chicken. Let's go. This is such a soul food staple right here. I personally love fried chicken.
Me too. I mean, who doesn't? Do you guys like, if any of you watching this don't like fried chicken, I need to know why. Because it tastes amazing.
Probably my vice. I don't know. Because my dad is a fried chicken fanatic. He loves fried chicken.
9 pieces of wings for $16. Yeah, I'd still pay that. I mean, depends how big the wings are.
And we only eat the flats. Okay. My family is flat brat only. Then every single recipe that every single person in my family has ever done or worked on has been something that gets worked on moving all the way up into our 8th generation. And so I believe that I've improved my grandmother's version of certain recipes. One of my secret sort of things that I teach people when they don't know how to fry chicken is to do this. This is chicken broth, right? So I just added a little bit of bouillon. So I have what my husband calls magic. This is just a seasoning blend that I make here. It's a secret. I'll keep some things for myself. So I like to season my chicken first. And you wanna kind of mix it in and get it all good. I like to make the smaller batches. You wanna make sure that you don't crowd it. So now there's another layer of seasoning. What I do is I dip them in here. Or what you can do, if you don't really wanna mess with it, and you don't want to be crazy about it, you just pour some in there. So we come over here to my
so those flavors will just like soak in.
Flour. My dredge has seasoning in it. This is all purpose. AP, regular old grandma flour. I like the flat because it's just like, it looks sexy. It's cute. It's like, it's like just a flat little piece of chicken, and just bite the meat off, and it's got 2 little bones in there. It's like fabulous. So I want to make sure that I check my cooking oil. So you see it fizzling right there. That means that it's ready to go. And I'm putting just about 10 wings on each side. One of my cooking rules, chicken is very chatty, and it will talk to you when it first goes into the cooking oil. When chicken is done, it just shuts up. The grease, the cooking oil, is quiet. By the time that happens, that chicken is so crispy and golden and beautiful. And it was like, when a girl put a dress on and she go like this, she knows she ready. That's how that chicken be doing it. It be knowing it's ready. So we do a double fry technique, and we do fry the chicken ahead of time, and then we store it, and then we bring it back out and we fry more. I'm gonna need to take this macaroni and cheese out because I cannot burn my macaroni and cheese. I gotta get it. So golden.
Oh my God, I need a big spoon of that right now, immediately.
Such a blessing. So that's done. Cover it and put it in a steamer so that it stays hot into temperature. You wanna make sure you protect your people. Protect your neck like Wu-Tang, protect your mac and cheese. It is looking like it's done. All the chicken is floating, and it's very quiet. It's like calm. It's like, I'm ready to go. So now we know to take it out. For the people who are a part of the flat tribe, right here.
That is a good sized wing. When she initially said she only does the flats, I was kind of skeptical, but this is a big wing, so yeah, I'm cool with it.
Ooh, that's a golden flat right there, baby. You ain't messing with that.
Looks juicy.
So I need to fry some more of this chicken because we gotta get these batches out, and then we're gonna get to this cornbread.
The color on that wing is perfect too. Not too dark brown, but a nice, golden brown. Oh my God.
This is the part that makes people so happy. The cornbread I'm serving in here is elite. So like, which one you want? Vanilla, sweet potato, strawberry, blueberry, chocolate chip, Oreo, banana pudding. You tell me which one you want. And then they're looking at me like all crazy, like, wait, hold on. Did you just name multiple cornbreads? I'm like, yeah. For me, I don't really like mess with a whole lot of stuff. Cornmeal, sugar, flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt. This is the cornbread mix right here. I do a sweet potato cornbread dessert. Now this sweet potato cornbread dessert is punch your mom in the face delicious. Like when I tell you, can't nobody beat me doing this? Can't nobody beat me doing this. Okay. These are my cooked sweet potatoes right here. But these are already, as some people would say, candied. And then you cannot be scared of how much you put of this in here. What the sauce of the sweet potatoes does is it softens it and makes it very, very moist. So a lot of people may say, oh, I don't like cornbread because it's very gritty. This right here will not do that. When I tell you it's fluffy, literally tastes like cake.
And I like the fact she hasn't blended it all together, that you can still see the individual chunks of the sweet potato.
It tastes like cake. I do have a sweet tooth. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't decide to make sweet potato cornbread like a dessert because I have a sweet tooth. I made it like a dessert because I don't bake. Because I don't really care about the science of these things. I'm gonna make some strawberry cornbread. It's one of our top sellers. The strawberry used to be my #1 sale. Sweet potato kind of dwarfed it and took over. I love to be spontaneous with everything that I'm doing in the kitchen because that means that I am being present and living in the moment, and I'm not letting these things kind of like control me. Following a very, I won't say difficult time, but a pivotal time in my life. When I was in a coma, when I woke up, it said, chase your legacy and not the luxury. Opening up a restaurant was something I discovered I needed to do, but it was very little money put into us opening up this restaurant. After quitting my job, being a teacher for 10.5 years, walking away from all of that, I came into this food business. We took a huge dip for the first 2.5 years and didn't really see any customers. And then people just started to notice us. And then they came from all 5 boroughs, and then it spread very quickly.
I love that. I love that. It wasn't a smooth journey, but she persisted. You know, she fought through, she grinded, and now it's a success.
Like wildflower all over the world. So I'm gonna slip my strawberry cornbread into the oven, and these are gonna go for as long as I let them go. I kind of do like a whole look-see test, and it takes me roughly about 20 minutes to bake these off right. I don't really have to cook much else because, like I said, this is a slow process. So soul food is all about patience. You gotta take the time out to make sure that things are doing what they do and not disturbing it. Real life is break time. I'm like a child, I need a nap. And so, honestly, my husband being here, sweating to the oldies, doing this fried chicken, and I will be on my phone emailing and answering calls, and I will be doing everything else that makes this whole empire great because I am multitasking, so I need a break.
Facts, and absolutely, you know, you got to take breaks. You got to take breaks.
Diva, that's just what I need. It is break time. Change my shoes, say hi to my grandma. This right here is one of the biggest reasons why I'm doing all of this. Like, I wish my grandmother would have had the opportunity to see all of what I've done. I have a lot of like memorabilia, family pictures, books, albums, things that talk about my history in here. Staten Island is not known for soul food. To have a Black-owned business on Staten Island and then be able to amplify Black history, Black culture, I tell people that my ancestors came here in 1799. They purchased property in 1828 as the first African Americans to purchase land here. Wow. We are a registered stop on what used to be the Underground Railroad, and we are the oldest community inhabited by its original descendants in the United States.
That's unbelievable. Wow.
Giving them that tidbit of history, anybody that comes in here, they are stunned, their mouth is on the floor. So I don't get a history check anymore from the Department of Education, and I totally need a break because I am super duper exhausted. I definitely need to take it down a minute. So you guys gotta give me a second. Let me take my hair down.
That oxtail looks so good.
So right now we're getting ready to have our very brief staff meeting, kind of like keep the staff abreast of what's on the menu for the day.
So today it's a lot of small groups of 2s, groups of 3s, and a group of 4 at night. Let's communicate on 86 and things, because it's a lot of groups coming in at different times, and we want to know when we sit them down, we want to let them know what we don't have.
Stay positive and keep a smile on your face.
Oh my God.
All right, so it's 5 o'clock. The customers are getting ready to knock the door down. I'm very happy that you guys came into my house, but now it's time for you to get the hell out. So, mi casa is kind of su casa. Good night.
Man, next time I'm in New York, I'm gonna make it I'm gonna make an effort to get to this restaurant for sure. The food looked amazing, reasonably priced, great atmosphere. You know, the lady herself, the owner, she's somebody that I want to do well, you know, super passionate about her business, super passionate about her food, like great energy. I will eat at this restaurant. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.